What's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today. We're watching Beyond Dragon Ball Super. A new fusion is born. Ultimate battle waged inside the Demon Realm. All right, a new fusion. So I'm assuming Gohan and Broly, obviously. You know what I'm saying? We saw Jiren cook last episode. And I'm ready for this new chapter, man. Let's get into it, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. And we're gonna get into it, man. Lego.
As our story now continues back within Universe 7 on Earth, as our heroes are now shown having to engage against some of the strongest warriors of the Demon Realm itself, with Piccolo being shown having to oversee Supercell Max battle against one of the Leviathans, to which it was only just moments before Piccolo was shown having to increase his size and having to further aid the Supercell Max unit against the Leviathan, was when Piccolo then went on to quickly respond, "Oh damn, these demons and their ridiculously vast and annoying legion of demon warriors. For if I don't go and do something soon to help assist that Supercell Titan model against that giant monster that he is fighting, then there's a good enough chance that he just might go and run out of power soon, which is the very last thing that either one of us need to go and have happen right now, and so here goes. Oh damn, it's this one sturdy, but it's the only shot that we've got in bringing this monster down, and so you are able to go and understand me, can't you? Well, hurry it up and blast this monster by using everything that you have, because I won't be able to go and hold him off for much longer, and so you'll need to go and destroy this thing while I'm still able to hold him in place."
Hold him in place, boy.
Within these very moments now elsewhere on the battlefield, as the elite demon Kyrax went as far as to address Kaima in not sensing Ultra Android 17 approaching from behind, was when Kyrax then went on to quickly respond, "Hurry now, Kaima, for we mustn't go and continue to choose to go against them, for we should go and retreat and fall back into the pits of the Demon Realm before it is too late, as we will only from there go and try to forge a new plan to go and use to destroy these creatures, along with bringing more of our warriors onto this planet, so that way we could." Sorry, but I never quite said that we were finished here, Ultra Android 17 went on to then quickly decapitate Kyrax by responding.
I'm so glad this story got a lot better, because this story was a little boring for a minute.
What you had done, and so now this
Now
is
that
the
it's more
price
action
that
packed.
you will now have to go and pay. And so now say goodbye to any of those plans that you and your army had been looking to go and use here against us, because you aren't going to be sticking around long enough and seeing them backfire on your fellow army anyways. Oh, Kyrax, no! Why, you low-down, rotten hunk of garbage, Kaima responds, as I am going to go and make sure that you pay dearly for what you had just went and did to him. I'd actually go and be more worried about yourself here, Ultra Android 18 went on to then quickly dash towards Kaima by responding, and as you should go and pay closer attention instead of having to go and worry about what happened to your ally over there, because just like him, alongside with the rest of your kind who had taken it upon themselves in following your orders by coming here, for you too will wind up in having to join them in the grave, Ultra Android 18 says upon being shown having to then unleash a gigantic blast and swallowing Kaima whole. And because you have went and decided to go and wage this battle here until the bitter end, then here's to the very ending that you had just so desperately wanted from the very moment that we started fighting here, demon. As it was only seconds later, with Ultra Android 17 then being shown having to join his sister and congratulating her, was when 17 then went on to quickly respond, "Whoa, that was incredible, 18, as I knew that you had the power along with having it what it takes to destroy that monster for good, and so now good job, 18, with Ultra Android 18 responding, "I warned that loudmouth that I was going to have her number, and soon enough she got exactly what she had coming from the very moment that we had went and engaged against them, 17, and so now good riddance," to which all the while as Broly was then shown having to approach the demon scientist Sugami, was when Sugami then went on to quickly respond, "But wait, now just hold on for just a minute there, Saiyan, for I am no threat to you whatsoever, which is why you ought to go and redirect your focus elsewhere, because I'm not." Oh no, as he only appears to be getting closer and closer here, and just wait a minute here, will you? And so just hear me out, because if you want to go and put your power up to the ultimate test, then I am not the one that you ought to go and test it out on, mortal, and so just wait a damn second here. But it was already too late, or at least seemingly so, because unbeknownst to Broly, as the demon Dark Master Jogo was then shown having to appear behind him before being shown tackling Broly through another portal, was when Sugami then went on to quickly respond, "As you should go and listen to me here, Saiyan, because you have far bigger things to go and about while you're out here with me, and if you don't believe me, then you might want to go and take a look behind you, since you seem to be all muscle and no brains, which is why you will lose. Oh no you don't, you rotten Saiyan. Jogo then went on to quickly tackle Broly by responding, for this battle between us is very far from over, and since we can't run the risk in losing any more of our fellow warriors, you will now be coming back with us, as we intend to go and finish this battle in the demon realm now instead. To which it was only just within these very moments now, all throughout the battlefield, as multiple demons were then shown having to do the same to our heroes, was when Mechimiro then went on to address Beerus by then responding, oh, and don't you go and assume that we have went and forgotten about you here either, God of Destruction.
Oh shit.
Now having to seemingly notice this by then responding, oh damn it, now I see on what those demons are doing, for they appear to be deliberately isolating everyone down there and creating some kind of a distraction that is effective enough in not only going and dragging them all out of this dimension and into what seemingly appears to be the demon realms like it's nothing. And so if that's the case, then this must be some kind of a planned and coordinated attack of some kind, because now that they are all seemingly aware that they are now starting to lose, they're getting desperate and it's starting to show. And so if I don't hurry and try to find a way to go and reach them as soon as I possibly can, Piccolo continues upon, now being shown having to shrink down in size, then there is no telling on what is about to go and happen to them while they're all down there, and so I can't just go and risk it, which is why I'll need to go and hurry and catch them before those portals that lead into
they fucked up that nigga. God damn, that nigga got holes in him and shit.
Try to go and reach them. The rest of you will have to go and stay behind and watch over the planet while I go and try to get the others in the meantime, Piccolo shouts. And so no matter what happens, you two stay here and keep this planet guarded alongside that Supercell Max unit, Piccolo continues, because with the two of you being as strong as you currently are, the world is going to need all of the protection that it could possibly go and get, and so you three stay here while I go and try to help the others, Piccolo shouts. To which, as Piccolo was then shown making his way within the demon realm, Piccolo had immediately found himself in having to attack Shadow Demon Gohan before having to speak to Gohan directly, as Piccolo went on to then quickly shout, and so now get your hands off of him, you cheap carbon copy wannabe pile of trash, for you monsters aren't going to be getting off the leash here against us that easily, and so now get away from him, with Gohan responding, thanks for that, Piccolo, for it seems as though we aren't in West City anymore, and since we are now seemingly a very long ways from home, let's go and try to keep an eye out for one another here, because I actually have something that I really want to go and try, and so can you cover me, with Piccolo responding, well, I can't promise that I'll go and be able to keep you covered for long, so whatever you have in mind, you'd better go and act fast upon it before it's too late. To which it was only within this very moment now, as Piccolo and Gohan were shown having to break off, as the Demon Dark Master Bakaro was then shown having to drag Vegeta within the demon realm, was when Vegeta went on to then quickly shout, why, you rotten creature, and just where the heck did you just go and stick your head from out of nowhere from like this? As you just wait until I go and get my hands on you, as I am going to, what in the world? Wait a second, Kakarot?
Goku done pulled up.
Time that you've went and decided to go and join us after venturing off and having to go and take a nap while we've been busy, and so what took you so long and where did you end up going? Well, I'm sorry that I went and took so long, but to make a very long story short here, Goku says, I went to go and see if I can go and locate that little Omni button that the present Lord Zeno had went and given to me, and when I found them, Goku continues, they were both seemingly sleeping with some kind of a huge barrier that had kept them both trapped inside, and now that I had freed them, there is no telling on what's about to go and happen, but even now we've got to go and stay ready and focused here no matter how badly things end up getting down here within the demon realm, with Vegeta responding, so that was what you had went and did. Well, good, but how do we now know that things are going to change around here to go and suit our favor during this war if neither one of them are here with us within the moment, Kakarot, with Goku responding, well, I'm not really sure on where they went, but I'm certain that they must have went looking and seeing if they can go and find the Grand Priest, if anything, because he was also missing too, but we can't just go and stand around here and wait for them, Goku continues, and especially not while we're down here and now having to go and bring the fight directly to the demons here within the demon realm, and since we don't really have a choice in the matter here either, then it's better for us to go and do what we can while we wait and see on what comes now that both of the Omni Kings have been set free. But then, it was only just before Goku was then shown having to quickly take action, as Shadow Demon Goku was then shown making his way ever so closer towards Goku and Vegeta as Vegeta had gone as far as to notice something beneath Shadow Demon Goku was when Vegeta went on to then quickly interrupt Goku by shouting,
shit.
Kakarot, wait, don't make a move yet and just go and take a look right there beneath him. Do you see it? That swirling mass of darkness and pressure.
Let me find out it was Goku the whole
Seems to be
time.
a similar looking vortex like the one that was shown forming under that demon wizard Garlock just moments before it had taken him back on Lord Beerus's world. And as I had first assumed for this to be some kind of a desperate attempt in having that thing go and help these creatures, but I'm starting to now believe that I was wrong, and that is simply because I want for you to go and look closely, Vegeta continues, for whatever that is shown having to go and form directly beneath them doesn't look as though it was done by design, and so we must go and be careful here because we don't know on what in the world that is, with Goku responding, hey wait, I think you're right because look, it looks like that vortex there, or whatever that appears to be that's directly underneath that thing, had completely went and stopped it within its tracks before it can actually go and attack us. But why? With Vegeta responding, well, whatever that is, we cannot go and allow ourselves to either go and have us fall victim or find ourselves engaging against whatever that thing is, because if one of those things are to go and open up here beneath one of us, then we're goners, Kakarot, and so we will not engage against those things whatsoever. And as whatever those things are don't appear to be mindless, but they appear to be rather calculated instead, almost like it doesn't even belong here, Kakarot, Vegeta continues, for not even these demons themselves seem to know on what those are, and so we cannot go and afford to have ourselves be sucked under those things, lest we warrant in having to go and chance our odds while we're still in this realm, and so we will have to go and try to avoid those wormholes at all costs. Do you understand? And as we'll go and deal with whatever those are after we are done in having to go and deal with these demons here first, and then those Dark Masters, and more importantly, their demon god Raijin. But I just don't understand. Again with this dark wormhole? But how could this be? As this doesn't appear to make any sense to me right now, for not only do these strange portals appear to not only come from any of the demons here within the demon realm, along with not having this come from any one of those mortal warriors here either, then where could this be coming from, Sugami questions? Because if neither one of those Saiyans were ultimately responsible for this, Sugami continues, let alone in having to go and notice that none of these creatures were the ones to go and carry out such a thing.
Who the fuck
like
is that? What the hell?
Just who could this be coming from if this isn't coming from our enemies whom we are battling against within the demon realm right now? But then, it was only from within this very moment now as Goku and Vegeta were then shown making their way ever so closer towards Sugami, with the Dark Master Bakara being shown getting in between them, was when Bakara then went on to quickly respond, no you don't, and just where exactly do the two of you think that you are going? Because with everything that you have caused and getting in the way of our plans for complete control and now having to slow us all down from having to go and achieve our end goals, the two of you will now be forced into a direct battle against me, as I am going to go and personally make sure that the two of you pay dearly for everything it was that you have done to cripple our army's very foundation, because from this moment onwards I will be your final opponent, as I don't intend on letting Lord Raijin down, Saiyans. To which it was only all the while in the meantime elsewhere on the battlefield as full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly was shown having to unleash a gigantic mouth blast, with the Dark Master Jogo being shown having to completely absorb this attack during the midst of battle, was when Jogo then went on to quickly respond, yes, what an amazing display of power, Saiyan. For if I would have known that a mortal such as yourself would have harbored this much energy sooner,
your bitch ass
I would have went and had targeted you far sooner than I would have came to realize, for I plan on hereby consuming every drop of power that you have remaining within your body, and as there will be nothing that you will be able to go and do by using your energy that will stop. Like hell you'll be thinking that you can just go and try to take someone else's power without having one of us go and have something to say about that. You won't, demon. So just because we are fighting on your home turf here doesn't mean that you have won just yet, Beast Gohan continues upon being shown knocking Jogo away. And so now you just go and wait your turn here, because I'll make sure to go and address you in just a moment here once I am done. And so hey, whoa there, Broly, Broly, just go and take it easy and try to calm down here, okay? And as I am not your enemy here, but I do need for you to go and listen to me right now, Broly, because this just may in fact be our one and only chance to go and pull this off the right way, and from here on allowing for us to go and forge together a far stronger warrior than how we currently are within the moment here. And so I'll just need for you to go and simply just listen to me here, okay? As I will need for you to go and put this on, Gohan continues. As the very second that you go and put this on your right arm, Gohan continues, the effects of what these armbands will do for us will be identical to any of the other fusion methods that my dad had went along to go and teach you, Broly. And so now while I know that you may be hesitant in wanting to go and do this with me, you'll have to go and simply trust that the result of the fusion that you and I are going to create will be unlike any other, Gohan continues. For we will not only grow to become far stronger than how we are within this very moment
Brohan, I'm assuming the name.
But it'll also go and increase our chances of survival to greater heights, which is exactly what we need right now. And so please just trust me on this, because we don't have a whole lot of time left here to go and do this. And so let's while we still can, Gohan says. But then it was only seconds after the fact now, with the giant explosion now being shown having to emanate from within the demon realm, was when both the demon army, the demon elites, the dark masters, and our heroes went on to spot this, with Jogo having to then notice this aura by then responding, "Why, you vile little what the, and just what in the world is that, and why is that energy that I'm sensing that's coming from within that thing so massive? No, but it can't be." As Vegeta went on to then also sense this by then responding, "Kakarot, do you feel that too? That pressure and the weight of that crushing energy, for that's not just coming from these demons here within the demon realm, but that's coming from both Broly and Gohan, as I have never felt anything quite like this before," with Goku responding, "I do, but the question now becomes, can they go and control all of that power that they're beginning to exert out there? Because although their energy is off the charts," Goku says, "can they be contained enough within this moment and not attacking us within the process? Here is the question." To which it was only suddenly then within this very moment now, as we finally get to see the reveal of Gohan and Broly's fusion through the form of having to go
angry
use the
motherfuckers,
CC
ain't
Capsule
they?
Corp armbands and having to go and do so, was when the newly formed fusion between Broly and Gohan then went on to quickly respond, "Now this is more like it." And so I hope that you are all listening very carefully here, demons, because what stands before you all is the end result of everything that you had feared would ultimately go and happen. And now that we are finally here, this is where you will all go and be destroyed. And since we are the first of our kind to go and use a third fusion method in giving birth to a new mega fighter, you can go and simply refer to us as Brohan from here on, demons. And now that we stand ready before you and having to finish this war which you demons had went and had originally started, Brohan continues, understand that you will not win, especially not now. And so you want to go and devour each of our realms and tear the multiverse open for your so-called dominion, huh? Well then let me go and make this as clear as I possibly can when I go and tell you all that you will not only go as far as to live long enough after our next encounter in making you pay for what you have done, but that very tension that you are feeling within your chest isn't fear that is haunting you, Brohan continues, but instead it's our power, Brohan says. And now that you are able to go and feel it surging, you know that this is it, because there will be nothing that either one of you so-called elites and dark masters can go and do that will destroy what we are now, Brohan says. And as the very moment that you demons had went and reached across your dimension and having to go and drag us into yours, ultimately enough, your fate had been sealed, because I don't care on how deep your pathetic darkness goes or what ancient gods you monsters happen to go and serve, because none of them will be able to save you, as I plan on destroying each and every single last one of you until the multiverse goes back into knowing peace once again. And so now which one of you vile creatures wants to go and be the first to perish before the rest? To which it was only all of a sudden within these very moments now, as the demon elite Mechimyro then went on to make his move and dashing directly towards Brohan, was when Mechimyro then went on to quickly respond, "What an incredibly alarming and massive battle power. For such a union shouldn't have been made possible for these mortals to go and pull off here, but no matter," Mechimyro says, "for I will hereby go and and put an end to this myself and be done with you vermin once and for all, you Saiyan scum. As I should have went and had dealt with the two of you when I had the chance, as I will go and ensure that this here and now will be our last. But then, it was only just
doing a
upon
lot
with
of
the elite
talking,
demon
nigga.
Meki Myro then being shown having to attempt to strike Brohan, with Brohan being shown having to completely move out of the way before having to impale Meki Myro, was when Brohan then went on to quickly respond, "Oh really, is that so? Well then if that's the case, then allow for me to go and be the first in having to go and break this to you the hard way then, because if you are to go and believe that you truly have the power to go and destroy what we have forged and having to
You
go
had
and
to
become,
transform, my boy.
Brohan says, if there was ever a time where you had wanted to go and doubt our ability and having to go and do so, then let me go and hereby show you on why exactly you will never beat me, no matter how tough you go and proclaim yourself to go and be, demon. But if you still insist on having yourself go and fall for your own delusions into thinking that this is the full extent of my true and absolute power," Brohan says, "then you are in for a very rude awakening here, demon, because not only am I holding back tremendous amounts of power here against you, but since you have went and had volunteered yourself in being the first to go and find out," Brohan continues, "then allow for me to go and hereby reveal to you the true extent of what lies within me, demon. For what you are looking at now is not only the combined might of both Gohan and Broly in having to magnify our powers," Brohan says, "but now that you are able to go and see the full scope of the kind of warrior that you will be left in having to go and face off with alone, understand that this will be as far as we will allow for you to go, demon." But even then, despite with Meki Myro's injuries, with Meki Myro shown still attempting to attack Brohan, was when Brohan then went on to continue, "You know, you were right about one thing here, demon, that this was never supposed to go and happen, for we should have never have been allowed to go and get this far in combining our powers here to stand against you, but now that we have, and now that we are far stronger than we have ever could have dreamed of having to be before prior to these armbands," Brohan continues, "we are now going to go and demonstrate the full nature of both Gohan and Broly's combined powers by exercising upon you a fury the likes of which you have never seen in your life before, by going and giving you our full and undivided attention here, since we both have a personal bone to go and pick with you here, demon. And since it looks as though you are finally ready to go and settle this for good, as you had just claimed for yourself to go and be, then allow for me to go and put an end to our personal differences here once and for all, as it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super Story of the Dark Masters, the official Murno sequel, manga chapter number 45 special, then comes to a close.
Well, actually, I'll go ahead and take it.
Shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this chapter right here, this fire. You know, I love me some Gohan content, so you know what I'm saying, anything Gohan content related, we love here. So shout out to UnrealEnt. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and you know what I'm saying, check out the last chapter right here. Check out another video you might like right here, and I'll catch y'all next time, man. Peace.